And we begin with that really awful news out of Arlington right now. The Associated Press confirming one officer has died after being stabbed near the Pentagon Metro station, I should say. The suspect accused of stabbing the officer was shot by police and died at the scene. Several other people were hurt. We don't know how many people or how bad those injuries are. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
Yeah, all these hours later, we're still trying to pull all this together. I'm Leslie Foster. Lots of moving parts to this story, and you know what you can expect from us. Every angle covered. We're going to start with team coverage with Matthew Torres. He joins us live from Arlington. And Matthew, this information is coming out at a trickle. Let's put what we know together right now.
Yeah, a trickle would be an understatement. The information has been coming out very slowly. If there's anything people can take away right now, is that there is no longer a threat. The scene here is a lot quieter compared to what we first saw when we arrived here this morning. The Pentagon police chief held a briefing this morning, but truthfully did not give much information as to what happened, including whether this incident was isolated or not. This morning, the Pentagon on lockdown after gunshots erupted at the Pentagon Metro bus stop. For nearly 2 hours, law enforcement officials and first responders descended on the military institution, trying to piece together what went wrong.
This morning at about 10:37 a.m., a Pentagon police officer was attacked on the Metro bus platform. Gunfire was exchanged, and there were several casualties.
We have one suspect down, one officer down, Pentagon Metro.
According to the Associated Press, the officer died after being stabbed, and the suspect was shot and killed by police on the scene.
We have enough officers here to protect the medic.
The incident causing chaos for witnesses who ran for safety. Several people were injured, but the Pentagon police chief refused to answer how many. Arlington Fire and EMS say it came across multiple patients.
Medic 104 is with this patient at the visitor center, the Pentagon Visitor Center.
The chief wouldn't even publicly confirm 2 people died despite ongoing questions from reporters in the Pentagon briefing room. Chief Kusse reiterating several times there is no longer a threat and the area is safe.
The scene is secure, and most importantly, there's no continuing threat to our community. The Pentagon and the Pentagon Reservation are safe and secure.
Now, he did say that they're not looking for any other suspects at this time. The FBI is leading the investigation, which says it is too early to speculate on a motive. Whether or not there will be some safety changes down the road, the chief says that will all depend on the outcome of this investigation. And despite him not even publicly saying that anyone has died, our Jess Arnold was actually outside GW Hospital where she saw some type of casket and what appears to be the start of that procession. Jess.
Yeah, Matthew, up until about 1:30, we saw officers from multiple different forces, including Pentagon Police, Park Police, Secret Service, and DC Police, all gathering outside of the ambulance bay here at the George Washington University Hospital. And as you mentioned, setting up for a motorcade that would then process down to the mall. Now, we saw a black van pull up right there in the ambulance bay, and not long after, the mood turned solemn.
Moments after, we saw what looked like a body bag or casket being placed in the back of the black van as officers stood saluting. The AP is reporting an officer was stabbed to death as condolences from other agencies pour in. Fairfax County Police tweeted, "We mourn with law enforcement agencies near and far after the tragic loss of a Pentagon police officer today." The procession escorted the van away from the hospital down to the National Mall, where more officers were at the ready.
Detail, present, arms!
As the motorcade drove by, a crowd watched, some with hands over their hearts.
Again, the Pentagon police chief will not confirm if it was one of their own who was injured or killed. However, there is no denying just how large of a police presence we saw out at the hospital today. Leslie, Lorenzo.
Hopefully soon we will learn that officer's name, Jess. Thank you. And you know, the shooting also led to a major disruption on Metro Rail and Metro Bus. Passengers ended up standing in line as trains and buses were diverted. You see right there. Our Evan Koslov has that part of the story.
Roslyn right here.
Large crowds and a lot of confusion.
Come on, this one's going to Roslyn.
Hundreds at Pentagon City trying to find their way downtown.
All of a sudden, they bring us here and they say this is the last stop. Everybody out.
Sahiva Samad was trying to get to work at GW Hospital when she was forced to get off the train.
It's scary and very unfortunate. We live in DC area, so we have to be prepared.
In the aftermath of the shooting, train service was suspended north of Pentagon City, heading to Arlington Cemetery on the Blue Line and all the way up to Mount Vernon Square on the Yellow Line. The Green Line also saw disruptions between Navy Yard and Mount Vernon Square. And with the train station being diverted, the solution was a series of shuttle buses being brought in, but of course it led to long lines like this one as dozens of people, both locals and tourists, trying to find their way downtown.
We were on for a few minutes and then they said that there was an incident.
Also impacted were a lot of tourists. The Pentagon just 3 stops away from DCA. Matt Stillion is visiting from Kansas.
It's pretty shocking. We just got off the plane and I hope everybody was okay.
I was just trying to go say mass at the Pentagon.
This man, going by Father Gabriel, was heading to the Pentagon when this all happened. He, like many others, are hoping for an end to this type of violence.
Praying for whatever happened. We need peace in the world.
In Arlington, I'm Evan Kozloff.
And here's where things stand on public transit as of now. Metro service is mostly back to normal. The Pentagon station is still closed. Trains are running through without stopping. Shuttle buses from Pentagon City can take you back to the Pentagon. Bus service that usually starts or ends at the Pentagon is at Pentagon City for now. And we just talked to Metro, and it will be like this for the rest of the night. We know there are still a lot of unanswered questions about what happened outside the Pentagon today, just hours upon hours after this happened. And that, of course, leads to speculation and misinformation.
You know it, and that's where the Verified team comes in. We'll tell you what we know and how we know it from vetted sources who are the closest to this investigation. Let's break down what information is confirmed and what we still don't know. Here are sources: the Pentagon Force Protection Agency Twitter account and Pentagon Chief of Police Woodrow Kusse, who gave a press briefing earlier today. So here's what we can confirm. The area in and around the Pentagon is secure. That's according to the chief. The chief also says the agency is not looking for a suspect at this time. Chief Kusse confirmed an officer was attacked on the bus platform outside the Pentagon and gunfire was exchanged. But several details still aren't confirmed. Here's a rundown of what we're still asking officials to answer. The number of people involved in this incident. We also don't know the motive at this time. Chief Kusse told reporters this is an ongoing investigation and did not provide those details. And you know, WUSA 9 will continue to have the latest on this investigation. For updates anytime, make sure you have our WUSA 9 app handy on your phone or your tablet and check for posts on WUSA9.com.